Hi and welcome to the video. I'm Dame and this is Dame Over, and today's video is all about one of the in-game mechanics that to me doesn't seem to actually make that much physical sense, and that is hip fire. I'm going to be asking you guys the question, does strong hip fire actually make sense? So if you find this video useful or entertaining, make sure you've hit the like button before you go, and if you're new around here and you want to keep up to date with any future content, make sure you've hit the subscribe button too. So let's jump to it. As we all know by now, some weapons in Battlefield 1 have particularly strong hip fire, especially those trench variants. The trench variant multipliers making hip fire the best option you've got in almost every situation with those particular weapons. The MP18 trench, for example, can be incredibly lethal, as you can see in the background footage, from a variety of ranges, even pushing into mid-range when you're firing from the hip. And if we take something like the Automatico, firing from the hip is the only really logical choice, as aiming down the sight is made very, very difficult by the iron sights just being so bad. But strong hip fire stats aren't just limited to those weapons within the assault class. There are a variety of weapons across almost all the classes that can boast very strong hip fire. The BAR, the Burton LMR, the M1907 SL, and the Fedorov, to name just a few. All of these weapons and more that I haven't mentioned are particularly good at close range fights. They are CQB specialist weapons. They require you to get in close and to hose down your enemies, generally relying on a superior rate of fire or a large magazine. And again, speaking in general terms, compared to the other variants of each of those weapons, the spread statistics are usually what is much better with the trench variants, or those weapons that have particularly strong hip fire. The random bullet spread is so much more reliable and far easier to control. And this is where I get to the question that I asked you guys before. Does strong hip fire actually make sense? Now, I'm relatively new to the Battlefield franchise. Battlefield 1 is the only game that I can really say I've played very much at all, and the strong hip fire mechanic seems to be an accepted part of the franchise. But my main experiences with first-person shooters have been with Call of Duty and Destiny, where aiming down the sight is obviously preferable, as it gives you far more control over where your bullets are going to go. And if you think about it from a purely physical standpoint, having the stock of your weapon against your shoulder gives you a far more solid base to help you control the recoil and therefore control the weapon. Now, my experience with shooting weapons in real life is very limited, although I have done some before, and drawing on that experience and from what seems logical, I'm sure a professional shooter would rather have their weapon up to their shoulder rather than relying on firing from the hip. In terms of Battlefield 1, it created an entirely new issue for me where I had to learn a completely new mechanic and a new way to play. And even this far into the game's life cycle, I still have to make a conscious effort when I'm using particular weapons to actually rely on the hip fire, as it's just so much better than aiming down the sight. I personally really enjoy using those weapons that have strong hip fire, if for no other reason that I feel like a cross between Sylvester Stallone and Arnie running around shooting from the hip. But to me, physically, it doesn't really seem to make that much sense, and I want to know what you guys think about it. Does strong hip fire actually make sense? And with Battlefield 5 up on the horizon, where the gunplay has changed quite drastically, random bullet spread is being eliminated entirely with an increase in recoil, making how you use your weapons very different. Will strong hip fire still actually be a prevalent part of the game? So make sure you let me know what you think about it and how you think it might affect Battlefield 5 down in the comments below. And a real quick thank you to those of you guys that are helping to support the channel through Patreon. It's because of you guys that I'm getting that little bit closer to being able to do this full time, and hopefully in the near future, with a bit more support, I'll be able to actually do that. So if you want to become a patron yourself, there's a link in the description, there'll be one in the pinned comment, and a button on the end screen that will take you straight to the Patreon page, where if you'd like to, you can help support the channel from as little as $1 a month. So if you had a good time, make sure you've hit the like button. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button too. Don't forget to hit the bell button as well, and to turn notifications on so you don't miss out on any future posts. And as always, feel free to share this video with whoever and wherever you like. And until next time, that's Dame Over. Peace.